What is up? What's up, everybody? It is that time of the week where we go over the figures that went up for pre-order in the past week that are going to look good under your lights and in front of your lens. Lordy, lordy, I say that all the time, and somehow I still feel like I always find a way to screw it up. So that's the topic of tonight. For the replay crew, let me know, what did you see in the past week that went up that you were like, oh, I need that, because you knew it was going to look good for picks. Now, one other thing I want to bring up, and replay crew, feel free to answer, but this will be an additional topic to tonight, just because it came to me yesterday as I was working, and at the same time, like I've been telling you guys, Autobot Reviews is here in the chat, but like I've been telling you guys, I've been just having Transformers on in the background, going through a lot of G1 episodes, and here's the thing. I remember as a kid really being annoyed by Bumblebee. And now I'm going through these episodes and I'm like, why was I so annoyed by Bumblebee? Like, he's not that bad. He actually seemed cool in some of the stuff. I am much more annoyed by the bot that killed Optimus Prime, Hot Rod. Now, with that, let's head to the chat. Oh, I did not mean to do that. Mr. Reviews. After waiting all day, that time has come to chill. I kind of feel that way myself. It's been one of those. But it hasn't been too bad. It's just been weird. Don't think I'd wait when you got that Thundercracker on the thumbnail. You know, I didn't think about that, but that makes total sense. By the way, man, how's your equipment? Are you able to get it up and running? Have you fixed some stuff yet? Let's see. Oh, it's begun, man. It has begun. See, just finished the transformation on my 86 Brawn. That's awesome. Seriously, man, when I saw that video, that figure looks really good. I was impressed. I'm impressed by a lot of what they're doing right now with Studio Series and everything else. Hola. All right, let's knock this thing out of here. Crazy new Transformers leaks. New toy line announced. Bruticus and Superion are confirmed. I don't know how, because I don't follow a lot of Transformers stuff, but I did see that, or at least I saw the listings, and I didn't pay attention to Bruticus so much. I just was seeing, wait a sec, Silverbolt, Air Raid, Firefly? Like, I'm like, that makes Superion. This is awesome. I've heard that about Devastator as well. I think that would be awesome. I don't know, man. It's tough. I know that I love me my ThreeZero MDLX stuff, but Yellow Park's been tempting lately. Some of the Transformers have looked really good lately, like from Hasbro. It's tough, man. It's hard being me and trying to figure things out for all this. Let's see. Oh, good man, good man. I'm glad to hear it. Very glad to hear it. I've been lucky with my stuff as well lately. Skew Raider. Bumblebee voice is the Amazing Spider-Man Spidey and Amazing Friends original voice. I did not notice, or I did not know that. But yeah, that makes sense. Because that would be, yeah, that was around that time, wasn't it? Like, when was Spidey and his Amazing Friends out? That was earlier 80s, but just a couple years beforehand, I think. Whew. Let's see. Wait, 86 Devastator, man. Yeah, Transformers is one of those lines. It's kind of like I talked about how if I start diving into Action Force, I know that's a rabbit hole. I feel the same way about Transformers. Like, I want to get that Omega Prime. One of my very few collecting regrets in life is that I had the RID Optimus Prime and the RID Ultra Magnus, and I sold them. And then I see Omega Prime up as the HasLab, and I'm just like, oh, I want that so bad. But if I get it, that's a heck of a rabbit hole. I know that I would be host. And I saw Skybite was also on there as being a character that is confirmed. I'm like, oh no, they're trying to get me on RID. Whew. All right, gentlemen, let's see what we've got here. What all do I have planned to chat about? Only I know for sure. Well, I mean, I guess you guys can guess that Thundercracker's on the list. All right. Now, you're going to be shocked here a little bit at the beginning. Don't hate, don't hate. This was Nady's property. I actually had some of these. My sister had some. I don't know which one of us had more. No hate here. Be nice. Ladies and gentlemen, we have the Care Bears. Now, I gotta say, this is Premium DNA that's putting these together. And Premium DNA's put some really good stuff together. And if you look at Anthony's Customs channel, he's talked about Premium DNA and said that the guys that are making these figures had nothing to do with the Megalopolis situation that had to do with them getting shut down and all that stuff. So it sounds like these weren't the guys running the company. These were the guys working at the company. So it probably wasn't them that ended up hosing everybody. So I feel a little better about their stuff. And yeah, we're looking at 80s goodness here. Now I had, remembering way back, I know I had Tenderheart. I might have had Grumpy. I can't remember all the ones that I had. I can't remember which ones were mine and which ones were my sister's. I just know I had Tenderheart because he is the Optimus Prime of the Care Bears. So of course I would have him. Although the more I look at him and the more kind and nice he was, the more I think there might be a dark side to Tenderheart Bear. And maybe he's actually a murder bear and we just don't know. But anyway, before I get to the rest here, what's everybody thinking of showing off the Care Bears? Which kind of surprised me a little bit too. If you want a good figure to start off your mainline collection, if you want to start one, oh, you're gonna try and throw me down the rabbit hole, aren't you? Would be Legacy Skids. He shelf warms like crazy, but he's a very good figure. What do you think of Modest Starscream? Because I've seen him around quite a bit. So my assumption would be he's not that great just because he also shelf warms. See, I don't have Skid specifically, but I have a couple repaints. Gotcha. Oh, yeah, Crosscut. I think Crosscut has been around too. Crosscut's the one that's silver and red, correct? See. Well, hello, Wraith Mace. Thanks for stopping by, man. Appreciate it. We're talking Care Bears. This isn't a normal kind of thing, but I think they look good. And I think for that specific someone who was really into these way back when, they might pick them up and have fun. Ain't no way I'm getting my mom cheer. That's awesome. Let's see. You want some good 80s toys? You know where this is going. I know. And I had a lot of good 80s toys. I don't know. My mom and I will talk about it. And I'm like, I don't know what happened to all the stuff I used to have. I had Good Luck Bear, and my mom made me a Grumpy plushie Gunstar. That's awesome. You know what's funny? So Entertainment Earth has, you can kind of look at them in order of best selling. And Grumpy Bear is running away with the Care Bear stuff right now. He is the best-selling Care Bear, which cracks me up. All right. Scary there. Man, we are 80s deep. Care Bears are countdown ready. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. The Turtles, two guys from the 60s band, sang the theme song. So Happy Together. Oh, So Happy Together was the Turtles? I don't know. I know the song. Oh, dear Lord. I know a little now. So yeah, before I keep going with the chat here, let's head back to the Bears. We've got Good Luck Bear. Here, check this out, though. This is different because I think the Care Bears were all just straight up repaints. Look at the face on Cheer Bear. Like, look at the eyes specifically. And now, ooh, look at that. Like, the whole head is totally different. I'm just now noticing that beyond the colors. So there's Cheer Bear's face, just looking all cheery, yay. Good Luck Bear with a winking face and kind of a cockeyed smile a little bit. Maybe not. Maybe, yeah, it does look like it's a slightly off-center smile. That's kind of funny. Okay, now I'm kind of getting into this. Maybe I'll get my sister some Care Bears. Or mom, perhaps. Who knows? Oh, great. Googly moogly. I have a feeling I'm seeing all the chats flying, and now I'm like, uh-oh, I'm getting tore up. See, no, I would never bring somebody down the Transformers rabbit hole. I'm sure with a name like Autobot Reviews, you would probably send them down, I don't know, the Gargoyles rabbit hole. Jericho Savage, good evening, sir. Thanks for stopping by. It's going to be a good night. You can't be unhappy when you start it with Care Bears, right? See, about reviews, the Starscream is a repack, so most likely there because people already got theirs. Okay, I wondered about that. Well, no, I didn't wonder about that. I was just wondering if he's cool. But if it's a repack, I assume he must have sold well. So maybe he is cool. I was thinking maybe I would consider getting stuff that wasn't G1, but I don't know. We'll see. No hating, just congratulating on Care Bears. Watched it in all kinds of shows, Dave. Man, when the 80s a thing, you know, when it was a decade, it felt like everybody watched all the same stuff because we just didn't have tons of options. So we all watched all this. We watched He-Man, we watched She-Ra, we watched Care Bears. I watched My Little Pony. And then, of course, there was G.I. Joe and Transformers and Thundercats. I vaguely remember Silverhawks, but I don't remember it that well. And to be honest, I don't remember Thundercats that well. My stuff was like He-Man, Transformers, and G.I. Joe, and then Turtles. Like, those were the mains. But then all this other stuff was always on, too. Autobot reviews, but the Starscream is miles better than the last Starscream they released. I'm talking about your Coronation Starscream. Your bad comedy. Coronation Starscream? That was... So are you saying... You're saying that one's not good, huh? I've seen him on sale, like on Amazon quite a bit. So my assumption was he didn't sell well, but who knows? Quick question, sir. Have you checked out any Joy Toy Warhammer 40K figs? I have not. I mean, I've seen them, but I haven't picked any of them up. And everything, Joy Toy is another one of those things that would be an insane rabbit hole. I've checked out their 1/12 stuff only because I tend to collect the 1/12 scale. And I've avoided the 1/18 or 4-inch, whatever, you know, in that range. But man, everything Joy Toy does looks really good. So I've seen them. I think they look incredible, but I've never handled one. So hopefully that answers your question. That was probably a long-winded way of saying no, but they're pretty. Jericho, just got my Masterverse new Eternia Mechanic. He's so damn cool. Is he, like, his neck climbs forever, right? And you pull it apart so that you can make it different lengths. For some reason, I'm thinking I saw that. Masterverse has some great designs going. I still love that Whiplash and that Clawful. Just the looks of them is really good. Yeah, third-party guys from the Turtles band send Care Bears Countdown. What? 3P guys from the Turtles band. Wow. That's that's awesome. And I'm trying to remember. I don't remember was it the theme song for Care Bears? Because I know they also had movies. That's right. I think I saw the movies too. I think there were 2 movies that I can remember. Banned. Got it. Or they banned them. We're going to ban the Turtles singers. Mr. McDysentery. Hola, seniors. What's going on, man? Thanks for stopping by. Okay, so, all right. I know people are coming in and they're seeing Care Bears right now and they're thinking, what the crap? Here's the thing. They were a blast in the 80s. They were just insanely colorful. I'll even go a step further. I know I had Tenderheart. I had the little heart-shaped fort with like a cloud base. And I think the handle was a rainbow handle, and there was a blue slide. That's right. I had a Care Bears fort. I don't know how I had that and Optimus Prime at the same time. I was a strange kid, but it was fun, man. Like, all this stuff was just fun. But the Care Bears here, what I'm noticing is I'm going through this, and I don't know if it was this way with the original toys, is their heads are all different, not just paint, but their expressions. And it cracks me up. We're going to go, in fact, now that I'm noticing it here, I'm going to head over, I'm going to do some minimizing, to Grumpy. I want to see what, well, that doesn't look that grumpy. It seems like his eyes should be more, the corners of his eyes, like up, say, in the top corners here, those should be a little sharper, like maybe go down at a steeper angle to make him look really mad or really grumpy. Maybe this isn't angry bear, it's just grumpy bear. So maybe I'm thinking an angry expression, and he's just like, don't talk to me expression. He's the one that I thought was the murder bear initially. But so, okay, I'm going to go through the other two here just real quick. Look at the difference. Just look at the heads. There's Cheer Bear, there's Good Luck Bear, and there's Grumpy Bear. I just love that they, I mean, obviously there's color changes and it's a different insignia on their tummy, but their heads crack me up. I truly, this is the first time I've noticed. Ooh, and Tenderheart just looks like he saw something a little awkward that he doesn't want to see. He's like, can I unsee that? I want to turn away and go elsewhere. That's, yeah, that's not a good look. Tenderheart looking a little awkward, not cool. Harry, 80 degree or 80 inches snore. I got nothing, man. I got nothing. Don't worry. Don't worry. We're not going to stick on Care Bears. It's just cracking me up the heads here at this point. Autobot reviews. I used to be super in Warhammer 40K. I never got into that. Warhammer, I never got into the tabletop games. I had a Marvel one that I tried once. It was fun for a couple days, but it just didn't grab me like video games and toys did. Wait, a Transformers times Warhammer 40K figure. Man, that'd just be a Transformer with a huge piece of armor, wouldn't it? Like, that'd almost be a Pretender, I'm thinking. Skew Raider, 2 guys. All right, all right. I'll have to go see if I can find that again in a minute here. Spaded 1. Been playing with my NECA D&D figs all day, and now I'm just jealous. You're the one that got Elkhorn, right? Elkhorn, ooh, all these guys, all those look good. I am gonna need to cave eventually. Sigh, time to get out the old Warhammer, guys. Proceeds to get out all my stop motion gear and begin storyboarding. Nice. How do you storyboard? Is it on paper or do you use a tablet or something like that? I'm curious. I know the old school way of storyboarding, but I also know, hey, there's other ways and more digital ways these days. Skew Raider correction, the Love and Spoonful 60s band. Okay, wrong trivia that time. Alex Trebek by Skew. That was incorrect. I don't know. I can't do an Alex Trebek. I will try that next time. We'll work on that. So if anybody blows it, I can sit here and be like, yeah, I don't know. Alex Trebek, the later years when he was hosting Jeopardy, he seemed to almost get angry when people would get things wrong. It was kind of funnier. But who knows? I don't know. Maybe I'm making things up at this point. Let's see. Your mother is the answer, Trebek. Was fed wrong info by Google when researching before. Don't want to put out wrong trivia. Done now. We're good. We're good. And man, yeah. We need, that's what, because who is it? Doesn't McFarlane have the license now to do some, I know he's doing Jake Blues, but I think he's got the license where he could do more Universal stuff. And as much as I didn't want it to be McFarlane, now he kind of needs to do a Celebrity Jeopardy set if he can get into SNL, I think. I wonder how the Care Bears stack up against the Plunderlings. Ooh, I don't know. That would be funny. They try to be all nice and cute and everything, and the Plunderlings just be psychotic. I kind of enjoy that chat there, that idea. Hang on, I've got that. I'm gonna leave you guys on there real quick. I'm on the internet, so I'm gonna look up the Care Bears height. I think I should probably, I don't have a plunderling on me. It's way over on the other side of the room. Way over on the other side of the room. It's like I have a mansion, guys. All right, let's see. He's 4.5 inches tall. So if somebody has a plunderling lying around and they care to measure the height of it, if it's about 4.5 inches, you're looking at pretty much the same height. Yeah, this is, the heads are what's got me on these guys. That kind of cracks me up even more now. I storyboard via 2D animation at low frame rate so I can still do sound design and know what times for scenes to end. Got it. Got it. So you're kind of storyboarding. So is it kind of a process where you're storyboarding as you're also building the file? So like you can see how it's going as you go? These are things I might need to know for the future. Who knows? Definitely want SNL stuff and related. I think that's a line, that line and a line of Warner Brothers, like Looney Tunes. I think those, the Looney Tunes specific, I think do well. Yeah, I got Elkhorn. He's something special. Ah, man. Yep. Yep. He looks it. He definitely looks it. Those Care Bears are nicely done. They are. They look good. And I seriously, this is the first time I really noticed the heads. And now I'm just going, wow, that's kind of sweet. My life at full circle. Transformers, Power Rangers, Spider-Man. Let's see, Soldiers. I don't know what that one is. Then Spider-Man, Army Men, Warhammer, Transformers. Okay. So it kind of it fit into some kind of pattern. That works. The plunderlings would be running around with the Care Bears heads on there. I think that's pretty accurate. And then like what, you know what? This is the look Tenderheart has on his face when he walks in and he discovers plunderlings are, I can't remember where the Care Bears lived, but plunderlings are there and he's like, oh God, we're about to die. That's the look that Tenderheart has. That's what's going on there. Makes me nervous. Makes Tenderheart a little nervous. But you are correct. The plunderlings would be just running rampant over the Care Bear. No stare is going to stop Spurt. Let's see, about Danger Mouse and Count Duckula figure heights. Like it. Okay, cool. Danger Mouse. Care Bears are huge. They used to, in the 80s, they had like huge stuffed animals, medium stuffed animals. Like the Care Bears were massive sellers for a little while. See, imagine if they were in scale with Transformers. That's, you know what? If you consider like my MDLX Prime is about 7 inches tall and you break that down, these characters would be, what if 7 inches is about 20? I think G1 Prime is supposed to be around 22 feet. 7.5 inches. Oh, that would be big. That would be big. That'd be over my one, so 11. We're probably looking at 14, 15 inches or 14, 15 feet. Feet is the word I was looking for. Those would be big bears. You're not wrong. Ah, what have I done? Go back to, oh, shoot. The chat disappeared for a minute, guys. I died a little. Let's see. Uh-oh. It really did disappear. I mean, I see the comments, but I don't know where it was. Let's see. Here we go. All right. Skew Raider. Yeah, a little taller. Yo, mate. Yo, shock truck. 5-inch Transformer versus 4-inch Care Bear. That would be rough. That would be rough. And the Care Bears, like a bear like that, would be far creepier than a Transformer. Care Bears and Rambo Gizmo are taking it to the bad guys in a world. That would be awesome. That would be hilarious. Throw Plunderland in there, and it's just they're basically the Joker of the toy world. They're just there to cause chaos. Okay, I did that math, and those Care Bears would have to be 16 feet tall. Yeah, you don't mess with that. You do not mess with Care Bears. Plunderlings are 3.8 inches tall. All right, so these guys have a little over, what's that then? So 0.5 inches. So these guys are just over ½ inch, a little over ½ inch tall, taller than the Plunderlings. 0.7 inches, I guess, taller. Okay, hear me out. NECA Nice Guys line, Mr. Rogers, Steve Irwin, Bob Ross, and LeVar Burton. Select the whole set. Okay, who else has somebody to add to that? I feel like there's got to be somebody. Mr. Robinson. We will throw in Mr. Robinson from SNL because that's almost too nice. Have you ever met those people? They're so nice. You're positive there's an agenda there somewhere. That would be that line. And I wouldn't be able to handle that. And I would need somebody to throw it into chaos. Mr. Robinson could be the Plunderlings to the Nice Guys line. And then it would be okay. Because we'd have somebody that was a little nuts in there. But, I mean, I don't like the idea. I'm just not sure. Cheers. What's up, Tragic? Thanks for stopping by, sir. We're in the, you know what? I am going to get out of the Care Bears here just because we're sitting here staring at Tenderheart. While he cracks me up, there is other stuff to look at, such as Batman. Okay, now we know he's a reissue, but I'm okay with that because from all accounts, he's a really good figure. So who all, like, I've noticed Legends is doing this too, like with their Colossus and Juggernaut re-release. Who all thinks that all these companies reissuing some of their bigger hits is a good idea? Personally, I think it's a fantastic idea because now they don't have to spend money on tooling and the fans get great figures that they might have missed out on. So I like that. I wouldn't like if they went back and started redoing figures that nobody cared about. At that point, you're like, well, that's no good. But a lot of people, like, I've never seen anybody say this was a bad release. I'm not into Dark Knight Returns only because I don't tend to get Elseworld stuff. But again, if I had all the monies, I would have all the Mafex. So I would end up with that. I think he looks like a perfect translation to Frank Miller's work. But now, let's see. Spaded one, you genius, you. I'm Batman. Skew Raider. But guys, you need Mr. Robinson too. You need Eddie Murphy in that mix. Let's see. Oh, forgot about Captain Kangaroo. I knew there was somebody else. It didn't feel like there were enough of them there. Maybe Bozo. Maybe Bozo would be too creepy. Mr. T. Okay, Mr. T would work. He could throw off everybody too. I was saying Mr. Robinson would be the perfect opposite to Mr. Rogers. See, Peter Cullen. Oh no, why? Oh, Peter Cullen is kind of the ultimate nice guy, isn't he? And he wasn't doing it for entertainment. He was just reading lines, but then you listen to him actually talking in interviews, and he sounds so cool. Welker, yeah. You know what? A Frank Welker, Peter Cullen 2-pack, like set them up, kind of like how they're doing all the other stuff with, like how McFarlane's got his figure coming out. NECA's got a Kirby, and Legends had a Stan Lee. Your grandpa? I am sure your grandpa is a very nice dude. Would he fit with the Nice Guys line? And would he get along with Captain Kangaroo, Mr. T, and Mr. Robinson? These are the questions that need to be asked. Added the Mother Rap song singing Mr. T, not the Rocky or A-Team Mr. T. Talking about Mother, there is no other. Oh man, I have to go back. I don't remember that at all. No, my brain is so dead. It was probably something got kicked out, and that song might have been one of them. Treat her right. I mean, we should be good to our moms, probably. Probably. I mean, you know, there's times that we can just be total tools and just rip on them mercilessly because they've totally earned it. And you know how they earned it? They had us. I'm going to hear about that. Spaded one, throw Richard Simmons in that box set while we're at it. Wow. Okay, now we're adding some flavor. Now we're adding some crazy. Can you imagine Richard Simmons trying to get all these guys to do some jazzercising? Or like, what is it that he had? Was it Dancing to the 80s? Or I can't remember what his programs were. I don't think it was him that did jazzercise. But now I'm sitting here just going, okay, now we're just turning into a crazy mess that could be awesome. Curator, technically some dude, so no worries, Mr. T. Or technically same dude. I pity the fool. Harry-O, Pee-wee Hoon. That worked too. That was a terrible Pee-wee laugh, though. Pee-wee? You know who we need. We'll throw Norm MacDonald in there. He was a kind old codger. Ed Grimley. Really, I must say, I didn't do a very good Ed Grimley there either. I should have plugged up my nose a little bit. Let's see. I have to head out real quick. Dinner. Dude, enjoy. Food is a big deal. Hopefully it tastes good too. Harry, Mafex needs to make more Wolverines so a guy can get one. Tell me about it, man. I want that tiger stripe so badly. And every time, like you telling me that it was up, I didn't check, like I didn't see the message for 20 minutes. By the time I got there, he was gone. By the time I heard about BBTS, like BBTS, I read about it 7 minutes. Like it was 7 minutes that he was up, that I read it on Preternia. I got on BBTS, he was already gone. I need that Wolverine. It's driving me crazy. Curator, Wilford Brimley, diabetes products and accessories, but not the firm version. All right, now we're just getting twisted. I likes it. He looked so angry whenever he would be on those commercials too. Like, and he'd sound it like diabetes. Like, whoa, okay, man, I understand. I mean, it's not cool, but whoa, there's a lot of anger. Mr. Robinson, yes, I concur. Who could they? Curator, Captain Kangaroo, absolutely. But I like that these companies are starting to make some of their best hits and re-releasing them. With Mafex, it just so happens that they're pretty much all some of their best hits. Uncle Ben, though, maybe Uncle Ben was a jerk, unless we're talking the right guy, because he was probably awesome. But Uncle Ben, we don't know anything except basically him getting killed, right? So it could be that while Peter was really sad, maybe in Peter's head, he's like, yeah, but I mean, it was sad at the time, and it really taught me something about responsibility, but he kind of got what was coming to him. Maybe? I don't know. You guys are going to jump on now and say, dude, have you not read Spider-Man issue this to this, where Uncle Ben was the man and he saved like kittens? And I'm going to go, hell, that joke died a horrible, horrible death. Scooter will. All right. So there we go. We've got this one. So if anybody is, by the way, guys, everything I'm showing you, I do have in the description below. And the ones that are affiliate links are the Entertainment Earth ones. There's also some Big Bad Toy Store stuff. But I will say, I love getting stuff from Entertainment Earth if I spend $79 more, because that's when I can get the free shipping. So if you get on there and you're going to spend 79 bucks, absolutely go for it. And you can use the code Toypixx to get the free shipping, even if it's pre-order. If you're not going to spend 79 bucks, I've heard that their shipping's a little insane, so maybe check out Big Bad Toy Store or other places that you trust. Just watch out for that kind of thing. I don't want anybody spending more than they have to, because, man, we need our toy dollars to go far at this point. And then we've got Bats and Carrie. And everybody on here, when I was talking about them before, they were saying that Carrie is a killer Robin. So was it somebody on here that's on right now that had her? And it's like, yeah, man, she's pretty awesome. And that Batman is also very awesome. This is the set that I've seen at my local comic shop. I don't know if it's still there. It's been a while since I've been to my LCS, but it does look good. Like if I weren't trying to just stick to the main universe when it came to Marvel and DC, I would totally get these, because anybody that wants Frank Miller Batman, done. Mafex did it, and no need for anybody else to do it. It's like Gambit. But Madam Web taught me that he was a paramedic and like didn't believe in responsibility and stuff. wait. Okay. Am I to understand that you had the misfortune of going to see Madam Web? Perhaps we talked about this before and I forgot. But man, that movie is getting ripped to shreds. I've even been checking Box Office Mojo lately to see how it's doing, just to laugh, just to have a good laugh at how bad that thing apparently is. Spaded one, that Robin looks like a Barnes & Noble employee with a haircut. Maybe. And she's got the glasses. Maybe when she was really young, she strained her eyes from reading too much. And so now she's got that. Maybe she was a Barnes & Noble employee, or like because there were child labor laws in the time of the Dark Knight Returns. I think there are today. Correct me if I'm wrong, because I know a lot of 4-year-olds that are out there working and handing out newspapers and stuff. That's not true at all. They're actually handing out smokes. But what I'm thinking here is maybe she was at Barnes & Noble late at night and she was stocking all the shelves and trying to make all that happen. I don't know. But yeah, I think you're not wrong. She definitely looks like a Barnes & Noble employee. In fact, if I do see her, I'm going to yell at her for not stocking the figures better. Well done, Dark Knight figures. Oh, show. I love what Mafex does all the time. It's all the time. Like, yeah, that's what I for this. Let's see. True to the arts. It is. But he's not wrong also. Like, you gotta, what we need to do is yell at Frank Miller and say, why you gotta draw a Barnes Noble employee for the Robin? All right, so there's that one. I'm stoked. I'm excited for this kind of stuff. Like Harry said, I'd sure like him to release Wolverine with a little more regularity with that Tiger Stripe one. But just as I want that re-released, I know there's a lot of people that want the brown suit re-released, and I'm lucky enough to have him. So I'm not too upset, but I'm getting there. I need that Tiger Stripe Wolverine. And now, ladies and gentlemen, who is a John Wick fan? Because I've seen them, and they're just crazy flicks. I love watching them. I don't know much about the story. I mean, I can follow it. I follow what's going on and everything. But I don't care so much about the mystery and all the back type stuff with these movies, because generally I really want a story to flow fairly well, but mostly I want great characters, and John Wick is loaded with great characters. But what's really cool is how insane the stunts are, like fighting, the throwing down, all that. And this figure looks like he represents it really well. I mean, I see this face and I'm just like, whoa. But I don't know, that was probably a terrible impression when it came to Keanu as well. Yeah, and I was stoked to see that they were doing this, mostly because I've only been getting comic figures, so this saves me money. But they're still really good figures. Better than the Mezco Dark Knight Returns. You know, I still don't have Mezco. I feel like I need a Gomez, like I brought up before. But yeah, like I do like that Mezco will update some looks and give them some lines and all that stuff, but it seems like almost everything they do will have some kind of pleather that's going to tear away. And that is not something I want to spend a lot of money on. So I'll be keeping my eyes out on some other stuff from them, though. I still think their Bishop looks really good. Skew Raider, most excellent. Be excellent to your targets. And be excellent. That's what I got. Be excellent to each other. Kill each other fast so there's no suffering. Party on, dudes. Spaded one. Every Mafex I see looks so premium. Like, figure arts are nice, but sometimes look a little plasticky. The matte Mafex kills it. I love it, man. Like, I don't know. I haven't been watching much. I talk about having Transformers on in the background. That's really what it is. Like, I'm sitting there working on the couch on the laptop, and Transformers is playing just because I want some noise in the background. But I did see D Amazing's video for Mando went up today, 2.0. And so I did play, and I was glancing up at that a little bit. This is me glancing. And he looks incredible. But something that does bug me about him is he doesn't have double jointed knees. Like, he doesn't have a lot of range in his torso either, but with all that armor, I'm okay with that. But the fact that he doesn't seem to have a lot of range in his knees, that he only has 90 degrees, there's something I like about that. And I kind of wonder, because we know Mafex can kill it. So I'm kind of wondering if the license has gotten so high that they're trying to cut out what they can and still keep the figures pretty premium. Like the license, the cost of the license, I mean. Harry, there is a third-party Wick with soft goods, way better. Ooh, way better than like what Mezco would do, or way better than what we've got here with Mafex? Let's see. I know a Mitchell figure when I see one. No. Why? Skew Raider, that third-party Wick from 5K Toys kills it too. Man, you know, I need 5K to start like putting an order of like what's new, because I'll go there, I'll be like, I'm pretty sure I saw that, and then like fifth line down, I think that's new, but I don't know. I want them to start going a little more in order, just for me. Like, it's my own personal greed. Mezco has some awesome figures and accessories. Yes, some of their figures are terrible, but some hit it out of the park. Dr. Doom is awesome. Same with Conan. I will say that I've never seen anybody say anything bad about Conan. I've seen some mixed stuff on Dr. Doom. I think he looks pretty good, but I'm not upset with myself because I considered getting him. I'm not upset that I missed out on him, but I will say, as much as I love Mafex, no company kills it on accessories like Mezco does. So there is that. And again, that Conan, yeah, he's tough to beat. He looks great. Tragic. Mafex Batman does look sick, and I'm enjoying Gambit. Man, I gotta tell you, there's a reason for me that Mafex just makes all the good stuff to me. I don't know. Both Mezco and Mafex. You don't talk like that. Mafex is the clear gold standard. Mezco it can take 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It can be there somewhere in the top 20. Mafex is gold. It's gold, Jerry. And if you dig Mezco, I don't actually care. I'm good with that. I always feel like I'll say stuff like that, and people are going, oh, hater, he doesn't like my collection. No. If you dig, that's what I like. Better than the Mafex third-party Wick. Man, now you guys are all just ganging up. Now you're just killing me. But now I have to go see about finding him, I think. 2-pack set with Donnie Yen, third-party Wick fire figures. Oh, man. I'm glad you brought that up, because the next one we've got here is Caine. And Caine looks really good too. And of course, I didn't grab any pics so you could actually see the Donnie Yen. I could go elsewhere, I suppose, but yeah, man, they look good. I don't know. I would kind of like to get these more, well, obviously, just regular human figures to populate the shelves. I think what that's going to end up being at some point, and like I say, if I win the lottery, there will be signs. I won't tell a soul, but you'll see a lot more Mafex figures. You'll also see a lot more Figma and a lot more amazing Yamaguchi. So I have like Figma and human characters like the Mafex here, just kind of populating the background scenes while I've got main action going on elsewhere. Or what would be funny is have like a John Wick, just ultra violent scene, and just have something like Superman and Batman sitting at a table in the back. Like that kind of stuff would be funny too, because you would expect it to be a Superman and Batman slugfest fight kind of photo, and instead you've got people like this hanging out. That would be a good switch. You guys know too much about how my head works. I enjoy what looks good in front of my lens, and that is what I enjoy the most as well. Good man. So yeah, like I say, I've got to give Mezco an honest shot. I just haven't yet, aside from I did get their Double Trouble weapons pack. Yep, the 5K 2-pack set. Check them out. All right. Let me get through these, and that'll be the next stop. All right, here is something that makes me oh so happy. And I haven't even pre-ordered Starscream yet, but what we have now is we have the ThreeZero MDLX Starscream on pre-order. We have the ThreeZero MDLX Skywarp on pre-order. And now we have the ThreeZero MDLX Thundercracker on pre-order. Guys, I don't know about you, but I loves me the ThreeZero MDLX. These figures, they're so good. And here I am holding Prime in the tiny window. But man, they're such good figures. So those are figures I'm gonna need to go out there and pick up. Yeah. Does anybody else, like when I talk about MDLX, unless Autobot Reviews were here, I feel like I'm kind of talking in a vacuum, and I love these things. Does anybody else get these? Caine felt like Jar Jar stumbling around for laughs. That's true. Caine wasn't, come on now, Jar Jar was Jar Jar. So I'll think about the original trilogy, right? Because I really try not to, I want to be fair to all the trilogies. Like I don't want to just say the original trilogy was the best because that's what I grew up with. So then I start thinking, who was the ultra silly character in Star Wars? Like the original trilogy. And the most silly, like the silliest character in the original trilogy is C-3PO. Yes, you could say the Ewoks, but they weren't silly in that way. So I genuinely think that the worst character in all of Star Wars is Jar Jar Binks, and possibly pretty much the whole cast of the sequel trilogy. That's not fair. That's a bad Dave. Honestly, the worst character probably in all of Star Wars to me is Jar Jar Binks. He truly just about ruined Star Wars for me. In fact, for me, at the time, before that came out, I was thinking to myself, what's the best movie series out there? And I put Star Wars at #1 with Indiana Jones very close, like a very close second. And once I saw Phantom Menace, Indiana Jones was now top, no doubt. Now, since then, they've destroyed Indiana Jones, and some would argue they've not helped out Star Wars much. But at the time, it was all about Star Wars and Indy right there. And when Phantom Menace came out, I'm like, oh no, this can't be Star Wars. They can't do this to me. That's right, it was a personal attack on me. But yeah, man, this is the one. This is really cool to me. But it does feel like I'm kind of talking into a vacuum when I talk about the MDLX guys. So, what have I done? Stop it. Now, we are at Carter A259 from Halo Reach. And I'll be honest, I did not play Halo Reach. I enjoyed Halo 2, and Halo 3, mostly because me and my friends would get together, slam TVs together, and basically just shoot at each other. That was times. It made us happy. It was weird how much fun that was. But I don't know much about Reach. I do know that a lot of people say the 1000 Toys Master Chief is really good. So my thought is this guy is also really good, but who really knows? I'm not so sure. I do feel like I need a Master Chief though. Like a Master Chief is kind of one of those pop culture icon type figures that are necessary. Tragic, what have you, sir? Halo Reach was fun for a short minute. All right. So what you're saying is I didn't miss much. Just curious. I think it looks like a really good figure. But I think when I think, I know when I think Halo, I think Master Chief. So I'll definitely end up with some version of Master Chief. I had some older figures of him, but I don't know. I can't remember the company. And I sold those off because they just weren't that much fun. My collection is really constantly evolving. He does look cool, but you need a Master Chief. That's what I'm saying. And the 1000 Toys one, pretty much everybody says he's remarkable. I pretty much go with what Anthony's Custom says because he and I think we share a lot of opinions. So I'll watch his stuff, and he was pretty stoked about Master Chief. That one anyway. Let's see. Definitely Master Chief. That's good. That's good. I'm feeling good about needing a Master Chief. Well, not needing one, but I'm feeling good about wanting one. LBZ, yo. Yeah, the 1K Toys Master Chief is awesome. Had to upgrade from the domestic one. And who was is that Jazzwares that's doing those now? I can't remember who that is. But I know there was one company, Anthony's Customs, was just like, no. And I'm thinking it was those cheaper figures. But yeah, the 1000 Toys, I'm going to need that. So, okay, we're going to jump away. Cool beans. Thanks for the answer, sir. And jump away from Cadit, Mr. Cadit. And we're going to King Cold from SHF and Dragon Ball. Is this Dragon Ball Z? Again, this is me showing my ignorance. Although up until Halo reaches Carter, I actually kind of knew what I'm talking about or what I was talking about. And I'm kind of stoked about that. Because a lot of toy companies lately aren't giving me that opportunity. They're like, yeah, but we know that you only want the stuff that looks really good in front of your lens, so we're not going to show stuff like that, domestic characters. And so I get totally lost. This, however, I've at least seen this. So I feel kind of comfortable talking about him. What's everybody think of this guy? Cool. Yeah, I figured that's what you meant with the yes. There was somebody way back when, like I remember having a Master Chief probably 15, 20 years ago too. I can't remember who did that one. Who did the highly articulated Doom guy? It looks super cool. Highly articulated Doom guy. Oh, wait, are you talking? No, you're not talking kind of hit. Who is it? Can anybody help out there? Because I didn't know my Doom all that well either. I probably have featured it at some point. Let's see, yeah, DBZ 200 at BBTS. Yeah, that makes me, that's scary stuff. By the way, like I was saying earlier, I've got this stuff in links in the video description, but only use the affiliate, the Entertainment Earth affiliate link stuff if you're going to spend $79 more, because I hear the shipping's kind of crazy. I have some BBTS links as well. That's one of them. And he looks good. He looks good, but I don't know enough about the character to shell out 200. You're killing it, Dave. What did I kill? I didn't. Thank you, Tragic. I appreciate it, man. I was pretty proud of myself that I knew what was going on this time. Yeah. Figma did the Doomslayer for Doom Eternal. Thank you, LBZ. I had a feeling you'd be on that. I appreciate it, man. There you go, Tragic. You have an answer. Which are probably, let's see here, Doom Eternal. That just sounded like something that Sean Connery would say, apparently. Like, Doom Eternal. I used to be able to do a pretty killer Sean Connery voice. Let's see. I have 2 of those. Ooh. Mufasa, Mufasa. Project. LOL, but no $200 from me. Yeah, I would have a hard time spending $200 on this, only because I don't know anything about it. And yet I'm sitting here going, man, that Omega Prime's only $250. So clearly there's preference here. Now this is an Elden Ring Raging Wolf. I know nothing about this guy other than the fact that he's overcompensating. So who knows your Elden Ring? Help me out here. I think he looks phenomenal. He doesn't come the next head, but everything else looks like it works really well. Let's see, I'll be getting cold, but we'll be importing it. Yeah, I wondered about that. Like, the reason that I put the BBTS link in the video description is because I know a lot of people are really comfortable with that. But there's times that you can find a Mafex figure on a site like AmiAmi, and all in with shipping and everything, you're still paying $20 to $30 less than you pay at Big Bad Toy Store. So I probably should have put an AmiAmi link or something like that for King Cold as well. I just didn't. I know that people seem really comfortable with BBTS, but if I've got a little more time next time, I'll probably throw in a few options. Tragic. Fun game. Very hard. This fig looks really cool. This figure looks like he'll look great in front of anybody's lens too. And that's, of course, the qualifier for grabbing him. All right, so there's that. And now we have, what do we have? Sophia F. Shirring. And what cracks me up about this one is simply the fact that we seem to have all kinds of bunnies coming out of nowhere now. It's just funny to me. Now, this figure is not as funny to me as, oh man, what was the last one? The pink bunny one. She came with a vehicle that was the Typhoon Rabbit or something like that. That looks like a set that would be hilarious. This just looks like, hey, we need to put a bunny figure out there. So this one, not as funny, but the other one is awesome. The other one cracks me up, but this one still looks like she'll do very good work with all the extra stuff she comes with. LBZ, he looks great. That guy from Elden Ring, the first figure, looks great as well. Ooh, I did not see that. I might have missed something this week. Great googly moogly. T-girl time. See, okay, there are 2 hilarious figures now. One is that pink bunny that I can't remember her name, of course, at this point, because of that vehicle in large part, and also because of just how silly she looks, and then Milk Tea Girl. Like, these are, I know, I'm sitting here going, why is it that I find them hilarious, and something like this, who I know would pose well, has all kinds of accessories, and would look great in front of the camera, why doesn't this grab me? And I think it's just the fact that the other 2 are so out there and ridiculous that they genuinely make me laugh. This one just doesn't really make me laugh. She looks cool, but that's about it. The other's like, that's hilarious. Harry, off topic, but Four Horsemen has, let's see, an on-hand sale going on with better prices than you get anywhere. Folks, if anybody digs the Mythic Legions, Cosmic Legions, all those things, you want to check out Store Horseman, it sounds like. Because if they've got an on-hand sale going on, we'll go, I'll tell you what, we're just about done talking about her. LBZ, Eileen from Snail Shell. That's right, Pink Rabbit Eileen, right? Or Pink Bunny Eileen. Yeah. She cracks me up. She looks hilarious. And they said, oh, it's the Typhoon Rabbit, isn't it? I'm thinking, oy vey, lol, don't know if my wife would let me get this. Okay, maybe it is Milk Tea Girl time. You know what you should do? Show her this, and then show her Milk Tea Girl, and say, look, I got to get one. Which one should I get? And you're going to end up with this one. That's just how that's going to work. You got to obviously have to come up with something other than what I just said, because if you say, I've got to get one, she'll just look at you and say, why? And then you lose right away. So you have to come up with something better. Yeah, that's the second figure from the Elden Ring game from Figma. Okay, got it, LBZ. Thank you. Yeah, those Figma, I mean, seriously, I would populate, if I had just all kinds, if like Toypixx were going insane right now, I would honestly populate my background with Figma figures. I think they're really cool. Obviously, the only thing I don't like with Milk Tea Girl and Bunny Girl Eileen, no ab crunch or waist swivel, but looks great and the price isn't that bad. I totally agree. And there's a lot of those figures that seem to not have anything at the waist at all. That drives me crazy. It's the only reason I haven't picked up some of the female figures that Loose Collectors put out, is they look great, but they just don't have any kind of waist anything. So yeah, like the Bunny Girl Eileen and Milk Tea Girl would really just be bought because I find them hilarious. They would look funny in front of the camera. I'm sure I could do ridiculous stuff with them and maybe have Spider-Man in the picture with them or something, maybe a Plunderling, maybe a Care Bear. Maybe they could use some Tenderheart. I don't know, but like I can just see them being there for the funny pictures. But you are correct. The fact that they don't have anything at the waist bugs the crap out of me. It is indeed 2024. Yeah, that's what I'm saying, man. You just gotta come up with something better than what I did. But really, if you haven't seen Milk Tea Girl yet, look her up. And if there's any way you can put together the comparison and say, look, honey, I'm sorry, but then you're gonna end up with this one. I'm so glad my wife doesn't get hung up on female action figures. Don't pose them in risque poses anyway, so it's all good. Good man, good man. You know, I sit here and I say things like, if my sister were to walk in, what would she think? When I was looking for something for my niece to get her for Christmas, I came across some of those 30-minute sisters, and I found a body that had like a bikini on it. And I texted my sister with the pictures, and I said, okay, look, this is a model she can put together. It's kind of just cute and goofy, and I think she'd enjoy it. Is this okay, or would you rather I did get her something like this? And my sister, to her credit, is like, yeah, I don't care about that stuff. Go ahead. So I'm like, oh, okay. So it's not my sister I really worry about when it comes to something like Milk Tea Girl or Pink Bunny Eileen. It's more anyone else that might need to come over at some point. But yeah, that's if I had a wife, I would hope that she would be I don't know. I don't know. My wife would probably have to do everything she could to keep me in line, to be perfectly honest. I like 30-minute sisters. They pose really well. They do, especially with the price point. And my niece, my sister sends me a text and she goes, she just realized that look at the and it said 15 and up, and she built it. And she's 8. And I said, well, tell her when she built her first one, she was 7. So my niece apparently went nuts when she found that out. But yeah, that was good stuff. Okay, what were we gonna look? Let's head over to go to Store Horseman and see if anything is there that people are gonna be into. Let's see here. In-stock sale is up. Hang on, guys. I didn't forget about you. I just wanted to make sure I pulled up the right window here. All right. Let's hide this. Let's buttons. Woo! I always have to back up when I see that I'm about to do that. All right. Window. Wait, I think that's it. All right, here we go. Let's go through the store horsemen here and see what we've got. These trolls, weren't these trolls something like $150 or $160? They're $110 right now. Or am I way off? I'm not sure. Because I don't do my Mythic Legions quite so much. And they're the horses. Oh, look at that. Look at the prices on like the Templar here is $26. Barbarians, 20, what's that? 20 or 26. We got 60 on this dude, which he's a big dude, I think. Desert Legion Builder, another 26. Bryophytus, 37. That's their Mossman, I guess. I think these are cheaper than Mythic generally goes for, aren't they? Oh, here's their Stinkor, Mephitor, and he's 37. So yeah, man, if anybody's into Mythics, if they load up on them, this might be a good time to load up on others. These look good. All right, what do we got here? Great Googly Moogly. It's the great Mr. Matson. Valiant Knight sold out in 3 seconds. Oh, of course. Well, there's always Muscacon up here in the old Michigan. I might need to try and get up there, see what I can find. I hear Valiant Knight will be there. I do want to get a couple trolls since I'm getting a couple orcs from Middle soon. Then getting an Elden Ring Figma along with a Link Figma and do some fantasy fight scenes. That'd be sweet. And a couple weeks ago when we were all talking about wishing they'd re-release Zelda and Link, I don't think they re-released them, but I saw a new version of them coming out. I just, for whatever reason, forgot to put them up here. But yeah, if anybody's into those, they do look like they've got different versions of them, and they look really good too. Tragic. Yeah, they are way cheaper. I missed out on Valiant Knight. Bummed. Oh, well. I have to think. I mean, the Valiant Knight, I've heard a lot of chatter about him. I have to think they'll, I mean, sure, it'll be a slightly different color variant or something, but I have to think they'll re-release them at some point. Let's see. Yeah, that new Link looks great. All right, now we're also going to go to, since everybody was talking about 5K toys, John Wick figures. All right, let's see if I can find them without, make sure that, okay, it is on there. I'm always careful. I want to make sure that you guys are seeing what I'm seeing. I announce it beforehand, and I'm like, no, hang on. Don't worry, I'm just researching real quick. I'll get back to you. Hey, there's Sophia there. They've still got that crazy rhino. I love that thing. All right, guys. Does anybody know what the John Wick figures are called? I've probably passed them and have no idea. Head back to the chat, see if anybody is answering that. Not yet. Let's see here. Harry Manipple Wick. Okay, got it. All right. Show me search. Here we go. Dope. Well, so it's sold out. Maybe I can get pictures. All right. Oh dear. I don't know, guys. I'm not sure you can put by me with this shit. Only because I can't see anything. Become larger. Enhance. I'm going to have to look this up somewhere else, aren't I? Let's see. see what we can find here. Try to find some better pics. I am my Don Quixote, the Lord of La Mancha, the man of La Mancha. Good Lord, man. All right. Bop, 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 bop. Bop, 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 bop. Welcome back, AR. Thanks for stopping by again, man. What did you have for dinner? Was it awesome? Man, it looks great. Let's see. Oh, makes great bodies. Okay. Let's see. Dreamcard is a W. 6K. Oh, 5K on Insta. All right, check that instead. Let's see. 7K. Oh, wait. 7K YouTube. 5K has IG. Okay. Has the pics. All right, hang on. Let's look here because I didn't see, like, I was on 5K, but it only had 2 pictures and they weren't great. Oops. Way to push the wrong button, Dave. Dave. Go. Oh, great. Googly moogly. Anybody want to look at, can't, never mind. I can't get this to slow down. Not sure about the face. Let's see about, oh boy. All right. You guys on it. Let's go try the Instagram for 5K. There, it was on Terraformers pick. More Dio goodness, people. All right. Show me 5K toys. Okay. Here we go. Looks good. Let's see. Oh, nice. Lasagna sounds really good. I did the whole chicken, noodles, marinara, all that, whatever that thing's called. If it even has a name. Well, lasagna sounds better, honestly. That sounds really good. You have the right one up, though, Dave. Well, that's good. That's good. I'm there now. I finally got there. Ew. Oh, Hasbro. Oh, no. Poor Hasbro. I feel bad for them right now. All right. Not the corporation necessarily, the people that work there. All right, let's see here. Oops. It's going the wrong way. All right, show me these little buttons. Well, that's a sweet shot. I think I have seen this. It's not the perfect Keanu, but the Mafex one isn't a perfect Keanu either. That's a pretty good, that profile is pretty good though. It looks, I mean, it looks good for sure. Does anybody think though, like when I think of Keanu in the John Wick outfit, I think of it being a more fitted, like kind of slender look. Like he almost looks really beefy here, which is fine for shooting and all that stuff. But what do you guys think of the accuracy of it? Am I off? Like, am I wrong? Because I think of him as being a lot more slender than this. But you are right. He looks like a great figure. I'm just not getting crazy John Wick vibes out of him. But now I'll go into StreamYard and find out you guys are sitting there saying, dude, you're insane. But not yet. Nobody is saying I'm insane just yet. So I guess that's good. Some of these, I love the way that they set up the shots, though. Like, that's cool. Like, whoever's taking the shots here, I have to say, I'm getting to the point where I don't necessarily like Mafex's photos. Some of them are really good, like when they're doing the scene-specific photos, I think are pretty good. But when they're just trying to show them a little bit, show all the angles and show all the different accessories and stuff, and they're trying to make up their own poses, it's like they're not seating the shoulders properly, so everybody thinks their shoulders are messed up. Spoiler alert, they're not, but people still think that. I wish they'd get better with their photos, kind of like whoever's shooting for Pineapple here. That's nice. Like, the photos themselves are really good. That's cool. Always better hand. I wondered about that too, because sometimes, I mean, you're right. Generally, pretty much everything I'm not sure about, whether I end up liking it or not, it definitely is better when I've got it in my hand. Def seems to be a little bigger than what it should be. And it might just be maybe the fit of the coat. Maybe they just needed to tighten it a bit, or maybe there's wire in there that we're unaware of that you can use to tilt a bit. But like what Harry O said, always looks better in hand. Yeah. And he's right, for sure. Does look good. I mean, I can't fault him for giving it a shot. I'm not sure. We're a big time John Wick guy. I would probably, like, I think people think that I'm against cloth goods on figures. I'm not at all against cloth goods on figures. It's just the companies that I tend to enjoy don't use cloth goods as much. So, like, I would probably pick the Mafex John Wick over this one if I were going to try and decide which one to get. But that doesn't mean this one look good. This one looks good too. It's tough, man. There's so many good toys out there right now that trying to figure out what to spend your money on, like, truly, you have to be just making all the money to be able to get all the good stuff. Like, I could sit here and show all kinds of photogenic stuff across all kinds of lines, and that's not including lines that I don't really get into that are super popular lines. Like, I don't really get into DC Multiverse or Marvel Legends or wrestling or He-Man or any Star Wars Black Series. Like, all those that are massive sellers, I don't get into at all. But everything else that's ridiculously cool just dwarfs all that stuff anyway. Like, you need a lot of money to get all the good stuff. It's insane. Let's see. Unless it's a Super 7 figure. You know what? I've actually been checking out reviews of Wingnut and Screw Loose, and no one said anything bad about that figure. People are generally pretty excited about him. And I've been curious about him myself, actually. I'd say plastic coats are much better than cloth. See, that just depends, though. Like, the Gambit, his cloth coat fits perfectly. Like, they nailed that thing. I mean, for Mafex. So I think it's just dependent on how you put them together. Because I prefer a cloth cape over a plastic cape any day of the week. Not the biggest fan of cloth because it doesn't stay in the positions you want it to, but it does achieve actual positions. Like, there's a lot of figures that come with capes that's the cape now. So it can't achieve any position but the one that it came with. So I do prefer, I will say this, I don't want cloth capes that don't have wires in them. The cloth cape has to have a wire. Otherwise, I would prefer a plastic cape, because if the cloth cape doesn't have a wire, it's just hanging there and you can't do anything with it anyway. In that instance, a plastic cape, I would say, is much better. To me, though. To me. my X-Men. Who's excited for X-Men 97? What? I must have missed whatever. Hold on. Let's go back. Let's see if I can decipher. See, because it doesn't say you want. Hey, I nailed it. Now you guys are just messing with me, I'm sure. Why did I click that again? People, I think I'm losing it. Might be a bit time to go. Not yet, though. Don't worry. Harry, once you get a great soft goods figure, you'll be selling other lines. See, I wonder about that sometimes because one of the big catalysts for me getting my Marvel Legends was getting Mafex Batman because the articulation was just so good. And that's the one thing that messes with me when it comes to cloth goods figures is I feel like there is no way that, say, a Mezco Spider-Man can get into the poses a Mafex Spider-Man can get into simply based on the fact that the Mafex Spider-Man doesn't have cloth that gets in the way. I mean, that's really the only reason. But I definitely need to give a suited figure a shot. But if you're talking to Autobot reviews, yeah, man, I'm telling you, that Gambit, like the way that they did that, you got to get one where they've been really refining it. And then I think you'll be better with cloth goods. Harry, 112 multi-layer clothes are tough. They are, I'm sure. I'm sure, because you've got to account for, what was it? I was talking to him. I saw Ace doing one of his live streams, and he was talking about how the canopy for the Batmobile that he put together didn't seat just right. It grew there, and he felt it had to do a little bit with the fact that the microns, like how wide the thickness of the windshield was, or like the part that surrounds the windshield, the width of that. And I have to think with something like this, you can't change the fabric. And if you go too thin on the fabric, it's going to tear really easily. So yeah, I think you're absolutely right. Like trying to get that so that it's going to lay right has to be tough. In fact, I think Robo was showing off Felix Toy's Joker, and he showed that fit really well. And part of the reason was because they had cut some of the lining away that you would never see anyway. Otherwise, it wouldn't have been able to. So that's one solution that one place found. Tragic. Right now, I'm setting up Mezco Snake Eyes infiltrating the Hiss tank factory and going to have them blow it up and then face off against Mezco Death Adder. Snake Eyes versus Snake Eye. That's awesome. That's really cool, actually. And here's a question I have, because I've seen some things with Snake Eyes, and I do think that Snake Eyes is really good. Is what's going on here, like in this area, the shoulders and chest area, is that kind of a pleather material? Because if it's not, that Snake Eyes is really tempting. In fact, all the crap I give Classified for not coming with accessories, then I look at Mezco and I'm like, oh man, they come with all the accessories. But then I look at the scaling problems that they have with their G.I. Joe figures. I saw, because I've been interested in Snake Eyes, so I watched The Amazing's review of them, and Roadblock is shorter than Snake Eyes, and in my head, that just doesn't quite work. But that Snake Eyes versus versus Death Adder is going to be fun. See, bring back Rogue's butts. What was I swear, it sounds like I just sit on TV and watch all this stuff. What really is going on in the background? Somebody I was listening to, and it might have been 3POA, because I had that basically working on the couch all the time, guys. I need to get away from this stuff and work more in coffee shops, I think. But I think they were talking about Rogue absorbed like a 2x4, and that's why her butt's really flat in the X-Men 97 cartoon. That kind of cracked me up. But keep in mind, we also haven't seen tons of that cartoon, although this is already a weird conversation. My Mezco Snake Eyes just arrived. That's awesome, because he does look good. Ooh. All right. Why is my phone beeping at me? Meh. Let's see. I think it is, but it's not cracky. I've been messing with them for a bit. Tragic, thank you very much for answering, sir. That's always what I'm curious about. Like if they honestly, if Mezco just did straight up cloth, I'd probably give them more of a chance. So what figures have they made that are straight up cloth that don't have that whole pajama look to it? I'll make sure to post the pics. Took forever to put this all together. I'm sure it did. That sounds insane. And you say His Tank Factory. How many His Tanks do you have? Because I bet that's crazy. LBZ, not too thrilled about X-Men 97. It fell flat in my expectations. I'm not, I don't really, I don't have an opinion on it yet. I will say if they keep the writers, because I thought the writers were really good the first time around. If they have roughly the same writers, I think the animation is better, and I think design is better than the original series. So I mean, the design, I shouldn't say that. The design seems a little simpler as well. But because of that, I think that's why the animation is going to run a little smoother. Kind of like, not as simple as Batman the Animated Series, but simpler than what X-Men the original series was. So I think it's going to lead to smoother animation. At least the trailer they showed like there was smoother animation. And I like that it's kind of a brighter color style with I don't know. I don't know how to explain it. It was almost like the original X-Men animated series had an unintentional, dirty, grungy look, whereas this one looks clean and sharp and ready to go. There's something I like about that. So I'm actually pretty excited about this. But we'll see. We'll see what happens with it. It might be that I see the first episode and say, oh man, what was I thinking? Harry, like Rosebud. Oh dear. That's what the point was, yeah. Let's see, they do not have the same writers. The creators leave little confidence for me. Okay, I was wondering about that. Hopefully, because here's the, like, they'll talk about all the things that they've talked about it in the media, like trying to say, talking about how Morph's non-binary and they do all the other stuff. I would be willing to bet you that that's never even brought up in the show. I think it was done I think it was done mostly, like when you start spreading that around in media, what you're trying to do is get another audience to check stuff out, or maybe grab on to some new people that haven't checked this out before. But what you also kind of do is you're just making everybody else go, come on, man, leave our stuff alone. So it's kind of a double-edged sword when you do something like that. What they were trying to do, I'm sure, because marketing, was get people talking about it. And that was the thing they thought of to get people talking about it. And I'd be willing to bet it's not even mentioned in the show. I don't know why. I just had that gut feeling about it. But yeah, I was thinking about how they're always changing our stuff. And I understand why they need to do it with established properties, because it's so hard to build up a new character, and they want to put representation across different races and ethnicities and genders, all that stuff. And I get that. I totally understand that. But what makes a brand powerful is people becoming familiar with the brand. So when you change a brand like that drastically, suddenly you're alienating the people that became comfortable with that brand, regardless of whatever the change is. So I think that's a big part of it too, with why people get upset about stuff like that. But I don't know. I'm gonna give it a chance. We'll see what happens. Hopefully I dig it. Let's see. LOL, I have 2 tanks, but one will stay in the box. Whole body isn't in PJs, just the chest and shoulders. But it's not too bad. Wait until it's in your hands. Ah, crap. I see how it is. You're going to end up spending money. Tragic. I hope they didn't mess up X97 like they did with He-Man. See, I didn't think that, like, there was clearly a bait and switch with the first one. I can't remember, I think. And they ended up, I think, correcting course towards the end of that series. But I thought Revolution was really good. I like how it kind of led to the potential for a lot of other stuff. Ooh. LBZ, like last two seasons of the original 90s X-Men were terrible, to be honest. I know the fifth one was awful. I don't remember the types of episodes that were in the fourth one. I remember some things like I was into the comic book a lot. So when they were using different characters, kind of, so like most of the team was from the X-Men Blue team. So I brought it up before where I was thinking, why isn't this Psylocke? Like, why is Psylocke in here being that age and not thinking about it? Yeah, of course, that's, we all know why Psylocke wasn't in there as part of the main team. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, anyway, in retrospect, looking at it now, I can see that they did a really bad job with the Dark Phoenix saga when it came to that. I think that was season 3. I'm having a hard time remembering what all was in season 4. But you are correct. Season 5 was a train wreck. And I'm sure part of it had to be, oh my God, they're not going to animate it any better than that? What are we doing here? Anyway. All right, guys, that's what I've got for this one. So, thanks as always for taking the time to come by and check things out. It is massively appreciated, truly, genuinely. I know when I say stuff like that, it sounds like, go through the motions. No. I really appreciate that some people come in here to chat this stuff, because otherwise I couldn't chat about it. So thanks again for stopping by. And until next time, have fun. Happy snapping. See ya. Odd face.